Toyota here, and today I have a good friend of mine, Chris, with me.
Hi everyone.
He's been in the car sales business for how long?
35 years, Amanda.
And how long in finance?
26 and a half.
We're going to ask him questions, the common questions that people ask about leasing, if leasing is for you, and when you should consider a lease.
I want my vehicle to be under factory warranty. I don't want a variable payment. I don't want to have any expense in maintenance. I don't want to have any expense in any type of warranty. So the leasing makes perfect sense.
Okay, Chris, when should a customer not lease a vehicle?
There's really not a time that a customer shouldn't lease a vehicle.
Really?
Right. So a lot of folks think that by leasing a car, they drive too many miles and it doesn't work for them.
Okay.
When in fact, we can purchase up to 20,000 additional miles a year for 10 cents a mile. So we're only talking about $2,000. You can actually come into a car dealership with a predetermined budget. That budget may be $500 a month. $500 a month, however, may only get us in a vehicle that is a bottom trim level because of today's interest rates being so much higher than what we're used to. However, we can offer an alternative way of financing the car, which is by leasing it. We can now go to a higher end model and still make the same payment. So the easiest thing to understand about the lease is it's still your vehicle. You're going to use the vehicle for 3 years. At the end of the third year, you have the first option to buy out the lease for the original price that was described the day you purchased the car. That price never changes. It is a closed-end lease, so it cannot change. If it's $20,000 today for you to buy your car out, Amanda, in 3 years it'll be $20,000 as well. Here's why I think a lease is so much more important when it comes to our budget and our pocketbook. So, Amanda, your friend next door has just told you they purchased a RAV4 from us, okay?
Okay.
Your friend, however, didn't lease the vehicle, and they have a $650 a month payment, okay?
They just went the traditional finance route.
Right.
Okay.
Someone didn't tell them about a lease or how important it could be to them. They're probably paying anywhere from 7 to 9% interest. What if you could lease this vehicle for 3 years? 3 years at $480 a month.
Wow.
Does that make a little more sense right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Imagine, if you could, this customer is coming in 3 years probably to trade their vehicle anyway, because the factory warranty is going to expire in 3 years, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So how much money would that customer have spent? That means that customer spent $23,400 on their car, okay?
For over 3 years.
In 3 years. Amanda, you will have spent $17,280 for 3 years, okay? Let me ask you a question. If both of these vehicles come back, they both have 36,000 miles, okay?
Okay.
They're the same exact vehicle, same exact trim level.
Right.
If I tell you that your trade-in value on your RAV4 is $20,000, what do you think your neighbor's trade-in value is going to be?
Well, if we both have 36,000 miles on the same car, then theirs would also be
Exactly.
$20,000,
Exactly.
right?
Okay.
Trade-in
Here's the
value.
big difference, and this is what's so important about a lease. Because the trade-in values are exactly the same on each vehicle, correct?
Yes.
But look at how much more money they spent. They spent over $7,000, almost $7,000 more to drive the same exact vehicle you're driving.
It does. So are there any fees that are different between the two?
No. The only thing that's going to be required of you up front on this lease is you must pay the first payment up front. But there is no 36 payment. This was a 72-month loan. Okay?
So in 72 months, she'll own this vehicle
Outright.
outright.
Mm-hmm.
What happens at the end of 3 years here if
Okay.
you don't trade it in?
So you don't have to trade it in. You
Okay.
can purchase this vehicle. So let's say your buyout on this vehicle at the end of the 3 years is $18,000. Okay? If your friend spent $650 a month for 72 months, they spent $46,800 on this vehicle. You have paid $35,000 $35,280, okay? Look at the amazing spread there is. Your neighbor spent $11,000 more to drive the same vehicle you did. If you choose not to buy your vehicle out, you just like to trade it in, and you love the fact of being able to lease every 3 years, great. If you don't want it, it's fine. We'll see what it's worth. Maybe you've got some equity. Let's say the car's worth $23,000 and I can give you a $5,000 check back. We still take the car in, recondition it. The car's got a great story. We know where it came from. We know you've serviced it with us. Those are the kinds of trade-ins we want. It's impossible for the consumer to lose. It's a closed-in lease. If you have an accident over here, how much do you think that affects your trade-in value?
A lot.
Exactly. If you have an accident over here, it doesn't matter. It's Toyota's problem. You don't have to buy the vehicle back out. It's Toyota's. You can walk away from it. If you've had 2 accidents, neither of which were of your fault, and now all of a sudden you just don't feel really good about the vehicle, isn't it a great feeling to know that it doesn't cost you anything? It doesn't matter that it wasn't an accident. Toyota doesn't care.
I got you. So I have the option of trading in the vehicle, buying it outright, or just letting Toyota have it.
Exactly.
So, but you know, what if I drive like 20,000 miles? I heard that if you put a lot of miles on a car every year, then it
definitely decreases its value, right? So why wouldn't it make more sense to just spend a little bit of extra money? Because this payment may only go up $40 a month for you to drive the additional miles.
Okay.
You're still much cheaper than this cost.
Very
And
true.
now you don't have to worry about what the vehicle's worth. It just gives that consumer a different way to finance, and quite frankly, in my opinion, the only way. And I mean, being in this business for 35 years and being in finance and seeing what goes on, there's a reason I lease my vehicles, and it's for this exact reason.
Can anybody lease?
Well, it's going to be always based on credit approval, of course, but anyone who has good credit is going to qualify for the best terms in a lease.
Gotcha.
And even our credit challenged, there's still leases available for them as well.
You know, I had a customer one time, he was at the end of his lease and he had filed bankruptcy that year. And so he was very happy that he could just let his car go.
It allows us to be able to purchase something that we probably didn't realize we could afford or attain.
Wow. Well, Chris, I really appreciate your time today. Is there anything else that we should know
No,
about
thank
lease?
you everyone for your time today.
super duper helpful, and I really appreciate you explaining all this to me,
No
because
problem,
I didn't
Amanda.
know all the details here either, and it really does make sense to at least consider the lease if you've never thought about it before. So
Absolutely.
thanks for helping us
You're welcome.
understand that, Chris, and
You're welcome.
really appreciate you.
You're welcome, Amanda.